Right. So what's good, everybody? Good morning. Um, so I was on Instagram, and I was just, going through pictures and stuff. And a lot of Knicks fans are just, I don't understand Knicks fans at all. I really don't. Maybe it was karma. Maybe it was karma for how they treated that Pacers fan, throwing trash at him. The one thing about karma, that shit is real. What goes around comes around. Now I'm not saying that that will be, was the deciding factor, but they throwing trash at you. It's like, shit doesn't make any sense. That shit is not cool. And probably the Pacers saw it too. Not only Halliburton, but the whole entire Pacers team saw it probably. Because I'm pretty sure that video went viral. And then they flew the kid out. And they gave him like the red carpet treatment and stuff like that. It was very touching as a Knicks fan. But as you can see, I'm still wearing my Knicks pants. But yeah, man. But today's video is about the head coaching vacancy. Now, for the past 25 years, the Knicks had abysmal head coaches. Obviously, outside of Mike Woodson, the Knicks have run through a lot of bad head coaches. You had Fizdale, you had Mike D'Antoni, you had Hornacek, you had Mike Miller, you know what I'm saying? You had Kurt Rambis, you had Derek Fisher, the list just goes on and on. Outside of Mike Woodson, who had a winning season, but they fired him within 2 seasons, you know what I'm saying? A lot of Knicks fans, I should say, in the comments wanted Mark Jackson. If you can't get Mike Malone or Karl Malone or whatever his name is, if you can't get Malone, Mark Jackson is available, or if we can't get him, Van Gundy, brother, is available. Not the one who coached the Wizards, obviously the one who coached the Knicks. And I said, wait a minute. Mark Jackson had plenty of chances to win a championship with the exact same team that Steve Kerr took, right? Now you could say, well, again, the same situation. Mark Jackson can win you 50 plus games, this and that and the third, but you can never get over the hump. Like maybe that was just championship experience. Maybe they just needed somebody with championship experience to get them over the hump. And what do you know? Steve Kerr took the job. They released him or they fired him. I'm just gonna say replace, because I don't like to use the word fire or release. They replaced him. They won 3 championships. Now, people might say, it could have been 4 if KD didn't go down and Draymond Green didn't get suspended. Like, what the heck? Like, Draymond Green didn't do nothing in that series. Go look at games 1, 2, 3. He didn't do nothing. Y'all keep on crowning Draymond Green like he's this defensive specialist or whatever. He's not. I don't think he is. You put him You put Draymond Green on a bum team, on a on a bad team, and see how he does. He'll fall. He'll fall quick. Um, but KD going down. I mean, he was only there for 2 seasons. I mean, but the notion that he couldn't get the job done, knowing that he had a lot of talent, knowing that he had too many opportunities, the Warriors needed to go in a different direction, and they did. And here came Steve Kerr, who won championships with the Bulls. Not only that, he went to the Spurs and won a championship with Timmy and Duncan Robinson. I don't know why I said Duncan Robinson with Robinson. So it goes like this. If the Knicks do wind up with Mike Malone, I'm not mad at it because obviously he's won on the highest level. He's won a championship. If they go the college route, if they feel like there's no body worthy of coaching this team, they could go the college route. I mean, there's rumors that it could be Jalen Brunson's dad. There's other rumors that it could be, Doc Rivers, Darvin Ham, Van Gundy, which I don't think he wants that pressure to play or coach the Knicks again, knowing how, him and Pat Riley in that organization butt heads. But Mark Jackson's name is highly on top. Now, do I want a Mark Jackson? No, I don't, because it's going to be the same situation with Tibbs. He's going to win us 50-plus games. We'll probably get to the Western Conference Finals and don't do anything. Like, look back on how he handled that Warriors job. It wasn't him per se that got them the talent. It was Bob Myers, the one that you see on, on ESPN. You know what I'm saying? He was the general manager of the Warriors. You know what I'm saying? He was the one who actually brought Curry or not brought, but drafted Curry and Clay and Draymond, and then just left it to Mark Jackson, and Mark Jackson couldn't get it done. Like again, does championships play a role in it? Like if you're not a championship level head coach and you just subpar 500, you're gonna win 50+ games every year. You're gonna get to the Western Conference Final, Western Conference Finals. But that's how far you're going to go. And that was the same thing with Tibbs. That was the same thing with Tibbs. Like, yeah, we could win 50+ games every single year, but if we can't get to where we need to go, somebody's got to go. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not stepping on no toes or whatever, or I'm not sugarcoating it, but somebody's got to go. Like you had this job way too long. I gave you a chance. You know what I'm saying? Like the first 2 years, I said, okay, 5 years with the Knicks. I think the best opportunity for Tom Thibodeau was the bubble. I really do think that the bubble was probably his best chance to win a championship. Because obviously, the pandemic, not a lot of people couldn't really do anything. But they chose the Heat out of all teams. I mean, it would have been. I mean, can you imagine the bubble with the Knicks and the Lakers in the finals? I think we could have matched up well against them in the bubble. I really do. I think that was Tom Thibodeau's best chance to win a championship. But obviously, we did go off to a very good start. Um, we beat the Atlanta Hawks, and I believe we lost in six against Miami Heat, who was an eighth seed. I think we were the fourth. Yeah, we were the fourth seed. Um, but it is what it is. Mark Jackson's not the man for this job, nor he'll never be the man for this job. Obviously he did play for for both Pacers and Knicks, obviously, but he's not the man for this job. I think they're gonna have a long, thorough search for this head coach. This head coaching hunt is not gonna be too short. They're gonna fully interview everybody that they can, whether it's college or whether it's somebody in the coaching staff. Like they're gonna bring a lot of outsiders. They're gonna bring everybody. You know what I'm saying? And they're gonna really, 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 you know, evaluate every coach. What's your strength, what's your weakness, what do you have to provide for us, this and that and the third. What is your scheme moving forward? You know what I'm saying? Like, because it's going to be a long task. It's going to be a long task dealing with the Knicks. And obviously, like I said, Mike Woodson was the last good head coach that we had. He only lasted 2 seasons here. So, his first year we were pretty good. Obviously this is when we had, Jason Kidd. Like we were like the oldest team in the NFL. I mean, the Knicks are the oldest team in the NFL, but in terms of age wise, we had a lot of old vets. We had our best season. And yeah, so obviously, all we could do is just sit and wait. I mean, like I could throw out so many contents that I want, but at the end of the day, it's up to them, not us. That's why they get paid the big bucks to make these decisions. We only spectators at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing we can say or do that's going to, sway their way to making a better choice. I mean, that's why I don't really put effort into, coming on here and explaining myself. It's like, for what? Like my opinion don't mean crap. Like I could come on here and make 10 videos about the Knicks and what they need to do and this and that and the third, but that's their job, not my job. I'm just a fan at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? We're just fans. New York Knicks fans are just fans at the end of the day. So the point of, me coming on here or they coming on here and explaining, what we should do, who we should bring, it doesn't matter. What they seem fit or who they like is who they're going to bring in. And I don't think this is going to take long. I'll probably give like in the beginning, like in the middle of June, because obviously we have June, July, August, September, October. We have 5 months. After the NBA Finals, five months until basketball resumes again around October. So I would probably give it either this month or next month. either June or July, we're gonna find out who's the new head coach for the New York Knicks. If it's Mike Miller, then I'm fully aboard of it. You know, if it's somebody else, you know, I'll be applauded by it. But at the end of the day, it's out of our reach. There's nothing we can do. So, um, yeah, just let me know who y'all think is gonna be the next coach for my Knicks. Um, I swear, I hope it's not who I think it is. Ah man, I hope it's not who I think it is. But since we're under a new regime, not really new regime, since we're under a new management, I think Wawa West and Leon Rose are going to make the best decision. This is not freaking Isaiah Thomas or Phil Jackson under helm no more. You know what I'm saying? James Dolan stepped back. He let him do their thing. You know what I'm saying? They have full control. Well, not really full control, but they have control over, you know, over personnel. You know what I'm saying? Head coaches, this and that and the third. So as long as we got those two under helm, we should be fine. And I remember there was like rumors where the Knicks was going to sell the team to a bunch of Muslim dudes. Like a bunch of Muslim dudes wanted to buy the Knicks for like 10 million. And I don't think James Dolan is ever going to sell this team. I mean, maybe he's the missing piece. Maybe if we do sell this team, then people are going to look at the Knicks differently. Maybe change the logo. I don't know. You know, it's kind of like Woody Johnson with the Woody Johnson, whatever his name is, that the owner for the Jets. So I feel like the Jets are like the closest to the Knicks right now. I mean, you could say the Jets had their best season 2009 and 2010. So yeah, let me know who y'all think is gonna be next